The Gentle Giant's Last Breath, the heart-wrenching story of George Floyd's injustice. Imagine a man who dreamed big in a world that often seems stacked against him, a towering figure with a warm smile, known to his friends as Big Floyd, who once aspired to sit on the Supreme Court as a child and later channeled his pain into raw, soulful rap lyrics about survival in the hood. George Perry Floyd Jr. was born on October 14, 1973, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But his story truly began in the gritty Third Ward of Houston, Texas, where he moved as a toddler with his mother, Larcenia Sissy Floyd, and siblings after his parents separated. Raised in Cooney Homes, a rundown public housing project plagued by poverty, gun violence, and over-policing, young George faced hunger and hardship from an early age. Yet he shone brightly on the basketball and football fields at Jack Yates High School, earning the nickname Perry and leading his team to the 1992 state championship. Recruited to college, he struggled academically and dropped out, his family's financial woes pulling him back into a cycle of dead-end jobs and dreams deferred. Life wasn't kind to Floyd. In the late 90s and early 2000s, he fell into the clutches of the war on drugs era, racking up arrests for nonviolent offenses like drug possession, which branded him with a felony record that haunted his job prospects. He battled addiction and depression, admitting during one arrest that he was messed up. A 2007 armed robbery conviction, where he pleaded guilty to avoid a harsher sentence, landed him 5 years in prison, exacerbating his claustrophobia and leaving scars that never fully healed. But Floyd was a fighter, a father figure to his siblings, and a devoted dad to his daughter, Gianna, born in 2013. Her arrival reignited his faith. At 43, he recommitted to turning his life around, joining a Christian ministry and vowing to be better. In 2017, seeking a fresh start, Floyd boarded a Greyhound bus to Minneapolis, Minnesota, a city he hoped would offer redemption. He enrolled in a rehabilitation program for Black men called Our Turning Point, graduated, and pieced together work as a truck driver trainee, Salvation Army resident aide, and nightclub bouncer. He sent money home to his family, mentored youth, and even overlapped shifts with one of the officers who would later kneel on his neck. But setbacks piled up. The overdose death of a roommate, his mother's battle with illness — she passed in 2018, a loss that shattered him — his own opioid struggles, and the COVID-19 pandemic that left him unemployed. Still, Floyd pressed on, a gentle giant at 6 feet 4 inches and over 200 pounds, beloved for his kindness and resilience. On Memorial Day, May 25, 2020, the sun hung low over Minneapolis as Floyd, 46, pulled up to Cup Foods, a corner store in the Powderhorn Park neighborhood at East 38th Street and Chicago Avenue, a spot he frequented. He was with friends Maurice Hall and Shawanda Hill in his blue Mercedes SUV, having just bought cigarettes with what a clerk suspected was a counterfeit $20 bill. Floyd, unaware, or perhaps in a fog from his struggles, autopsies later revealed fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system, alongside underlying heart disease and a recent COVID-19 recovery, sat in his car munching on a banana when the store employees confronted him. They demanded the cigarettes back. He refused, insisting it wasn't fake. At 8:01 p.m., a teen clerk called 911, describing Floyd as awfully drunk and not in control of himself, but not violent. Officers Thomas Lane and J. Alexander Queng arrived first at 8:08 p.m., guns drawn almost immediately. Lane tapping the window with his flashlight, startling Floyd, who begged not to be shot as he raised his hands. Body camera footage captured the terror in his voice. "Please don't shoot me, man." They pulled him from the SUV, handcuffed him despite his compliance, and sat him against a wall. Floyd, claustrophobic and anxious, mentioned his fears and recent COVID bout. "I'm not a bad guy," he pleaded. Lane asked if he was on something. Floyd denied it, but admitted to being scared. Then came Derek Chauvin and Tu Thao at 8:17 p.m. Chauvin, a 19-year veteran with a history of complaints, took charge. As they tried to shove Floyd into the squad car, he resisted, not violently but out of panic, crying, "I can't breathe," even before being on the ground. "Mama loves me," he sobbed, invoking his late mother. They pulled him through the car and onto the pavement face down. What followed was 9 minutes and 29 seconds of unimaginable agony, etched forever in bystander videos. Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck with his full weight, hands casually in pockets, staring blankly as Floyd gasped beneath him. Quang pressed on his back, Lane held his legs, and Thao managed the growing crowd of horrified onlookers. Floyd's pleas pierced the air. "I can't breathe," said 27 times. "Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe, sir. My stomach hurts, my neck hurts. Everything hurts. They're gonna kill me." He called for his mama over and over, his voice weakening to a whisper. Bystanders, including 17-year-old Darnella Frazier, who filmed the viral video, begged the officers to stop. "He's not resisting. Check his pulse." A 9-year-old girl cried out, "Get off of him!" Thao mocked, "This is why you don't do drugs, kids," while Chauvin maced the crowd. By 8:25 p.m., Floyd went limp, unresponsive, his face grinding into the asphalt, blood trickling from his nose. Still, Chauvin kept his knee there for another 2 minutes and 53 seconds, even after paramedics arrived and found no pulse. Floyd was loaded into an ambulance like a rag doll. Lane performed CPR en route, but it was too late. At Hennepin County Medical Center, after futile resuscitation, he was pronounced dead at 9:25 p.m. The official autopsy ruled it a homicide. Cardiopulmonary arrest from restraint and neck compression, complicated by drugs and health issues. An independent one pointed squarely to asphyxia. Experts agreed. This was preventable. A simple roll to his side could have saved him. The video exploded online that night, a raw cry of injustice that no one could unsee. Floyd's final words, "I can't breathe," echoed those of Eric Garner in 2014, a haunting reminder of unchecked power. His family, devastated, remembered a man who loved barbecues, dancing and hugging tight. Jonna, just 6, later said, "Daddy changed the world." But in that moment, the world shattered. Justice came slowly, painfully. All 4 officers were fired the next day. Chauvin faced charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter, the others aiding and abetting. In a riveting 2021 state trial, witnesses like Frazier testified through tears, reliving the horror. Chauvin was convicted on all counts, sentenced to 22.5 years. Federally, he pleaded guilty to civil rights violations, adding 21 concurrent years. Lane, Quang, and Thao were convicted in federal court for depriving Floyd of his rights, with sentences of 2.5 to 3.5 years. State pleas followed, adding more time. The city settled with Floyd's family for $27 million, a bittersweet acknowledgement of loss. But Floyd's death was no isolated tragedy. It ignited a firestorm. Protests erupted in Minneapolis on May 26th, swelling to millions across 2,000 U.S. cities and 60 countries, the largest civil rights movement since the 1960s. Black Lives Matter chants filled streets. Die-ins lasted 8:46 to symbolize his suffering. Peaceful marches turned chaotic in spots. Riots damaged businesses. A police precinct burned. But the core was grief-fueled rage against systemic racism. Curfews hit 200 cities. The National Guard deployed in 30 states. Globally, it toppled Confederate statues, renamed sports teams, and sparked corporate pledges for equity. Reforms trickled in. Minneapolis banned chokeholds, required officers to intervene in excessive force, and faced a DOJ probe revealing patterns of discrimination. 17 states restricted neck restraints. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act stalled in Congress. But Biden's executive orders advanced accountability. Yet the pain lingers. Floyd Square in Minneapolis became a memorial. Murals worldwide honor his face, and his story fuels ongoing fights. George Floyd wasn't perfect, but he was human, a man who stumbled, rose, and was crushed under a knee of indifference. His cries echo as a call to empathy, a reminder that one life lost can awaken a world. In his daughter's words, he did change it, but at what heartbreaking cost? Listen, if you ignore injustice stories, you are giving room to injustice. Subscribe to this channel for more injustice stories and share to others.